Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 11th of December. So looking at the euro dollar, and yesterday, well, did pretty much as expected. It pulled back towards its daily and weekly pivots. Where to today? Well, we can sort of see a bit of an upward trend occurring on this short time frame, but I'm not totally convinced by any upward anything really. Depends which way we want to catch this. Let's just go through the in-betweens there for a moment. But more tempted at the lower side, depending on what really happens here. My preference here would be to see the daily pivot hit first, get that out of the way. Maybe if it breaks through to the 50-34 area, just see how it shapes up for the potential downside. Now, why there? There's lower highs popped in there, two lower highs yesterday. We may have a bit of a continuation of that move with a lack of resolution of the Brexit situation, unlikely to happen. It does affect the euro dollar as well, makes it less certainty there. So all in all, that does look like there's potential, as I said, for the maybe if we get it up to these sort of points, maybe yesterday's lows, and then looking down towards that S1 area. Okay, the pound dollar. Well, daily wise, maybe a bit of a correction in store for today, and this may spoil the euro in a sense. We'll see, but all in all, there's not a lot of great news there. In fact, I just wanted to come back out and look at the weekly, because we've broken right the way through those prior lows now from several weeks ago. I'm just sort of looking for where to next sort of support areas. It's a fragile support area at 2380, so 124 would maybe be the next point of downward direction. Now, yesterday it started okay. We got the weekly pivot ticked off, and off it started selling then, and well, I do wonder if any rallies again here may just see it roll back again. So looking for any movements into the daily pivot to sell into, really, potentially. Maybe popping a trend line over the near-term trend there from the lows through the Asian session to get a sell point. Otherwise, I'd rather see that daily pivot hit. But if we do see all these markets starting to roll and this hasn't gone up there, well, I'll look for the lows initially of yesterday. It's quite a hit, move down there still. Maybe see if I can ride some of it further down. That would be my thinking for today. Okay, dollar yen. Now there is a risk. Sorry, I should go back to it. There's always a risk for the pound. There is a risk that some of the European members would suddenly say, well, we could do something, in which case the pound could rally like a good one. So beware, I suppose. Maybe stick with the euro. Right. Dollar yen. Okay, so from where it is yesterday, it rode its way down towards the lows there into that 100 MA. It's seen off a decent bounce. It didn't quite, did it make it did make a double bottom there, and then it's rallied since. Now potential is for a continuation of that move. We see dollar strength coming through all these markets. We have got an untouched daily pivot at the moment, which I prefer to be seen ticking off, but it's at the moment, again, it's a bit like the euro, really, the inverted euro, in terms of the potential to push up towards yesterday's highs. So not a lot more else to be said on that one at the moment. Okay, Aussie dollar. Now the Aussies had a bit of a rough time last week, sold off for every day, and it's not looking great to yesterday, although it did manage to pitch up a little bit further, but it was still a down day overall, just because there's a green bar there. It did gap, it started from a gap. So it's just consolidating here at the moment. It has got the weekly pivot untouched above. It just looks weak with lower highs, lower lows coming through. Okay, it's in a bit of a wedge pattern, so maybe it could break that. If it was to start breaking to the upside, maybe it could, that could be a signal of something more towards that weekly pivot, and who knows. But at the moment it looks soft. Lots of long periods of consolidation, not for me for an intraday trade. Okay, Canadian dollar. Okay, so keep on talking about it, but it's pushing back up now into the sort of more expected territory of secondary targets from this expanding wedge, so maybe up to 786 or even a 1-to-1 move overall. High lows, high highs continue through the dailies. 4 hours is a bit more of a pig's ear to be looking to try and do too much with. And you can see how consolidated it is for long periods. I mean, it was right the way through yesterday until 1 o'clock before it even got anything of a wiggle on, and you could see a similarish thing happen again. If it does start selling off, of course, there is the daily pivot below. Okay, news wise today coming out, we've got the earnings report, so the monthly employment data is out at 9:30. Earnings are key on that. It's running at 3%. If that continues to be running at 3 or above, that could get that pound moving a little bit for at least an intermediate bounce anyway. Aside of that, really, US we start seeing some inflation data coming out here. That we got the PPI, producer price index, coming out at 130. It's a lesser inflation number, but all the same could create some volatility, although being probably minor. Right, that's it for today. Have a great one. Bye for now.